Hello and welcome back to Hobbies by Holly. Today I'm sharing a flip that almost didn't happen. I found these nightstands on Facebook Marketplace and I paid $100, which is always my max. So I paid $100, thought I got a great deal. They looked like they had great bones until I got them home. And so I start cleaning them with my typical Dawn dish liquid and soapy water. And then I started noticing one of the drawers was acting weird and it wouldn't come out. So on closer inspection, once I got the drawer out, I realized that the back was broken. There was a loose piece. So I decided to turn it around and take the whole back off just to see how much damage there was. And there was damage. In fact, the whole back was busted. So at that point, I had a decision to make. Cut my losses or figure it out. So I called a carpenter and he was able to fix it for me. So $120 later, I was back in business. So my next step was that the top had some raised water damage bubbles. And this is common with older pieces. And so I had seen on YouTube a technique where you cut them with a razor blade, then iron them out. So I tried it and it did work. I was very pleased. It flattened them out. I was able to cover those up with Bondo wood filler. And then I got to use my new orbital sander. I was using 80 grit to remove all of the wood filler excess to get it smooth on the top. And for the areas that are harder to reach with my sander, I just get a sanding sponge and wrap around a sheet of 80 grit. Then it was time for the primer, and I was planning to go with my signature Farmhouse look this time, the white body as well as the walnut stained faux wood top. This combination never gets old and it fits so beautifully in any bedroom setting. After the primer, I gave it a good sanding and it was time to work on the tops. I like to do my homemade chalk paint recipe. I use Coastal Villa. It's a Sherwin-Williams paint I get from Lowe's, and I mix it with plaster of Paris and water. So I start putting that on. I usually apply 2 coats just to make sure I get maximum coverage. After the second coat and it was dry, it was time for the staining. This is Minwax Dark Walnut, and I use these little chip brushes that you can just throw away when you're done. I wait about 8 minutes after I apply it and then start wiping it off. After a few days of dry time, it was time to work on the body. So I protected the top with saran wrap and used painter's tape to hold it down. Gave it another good sanding for good measure, using 120 grit. So I'm using my tried and true Bare Silky White. I picked this up at Home Depot and put it in my sprayer and got to work. I'm leaving the drawers in these days, and all I have to do afterwards is pull them out a little bit to paint the edges. I decided to keep the original hardware. It just needed a good cleaning, and then I was planning to spray paint them black. Back to work with my second coat of the Bare Silky White chalk paint. And while that was drying, I worked on the hardware using Canyon Black Satin Rust-Oleum spray paint. Then it was time to top coat using the polyacrylic Minwax in satin. This is coat 1. I always put on multiple coats and love using my HomeRite sprayer to apply polyacrylic. I find this is the easiest way to get a nice smooth finish. Adding back the original hardware that I had spray painted with Canyon Black. I noticed a couple of the drawers were not sliding properly, so I got out my Annie-Sloan soft wax and just applied some onto the drawer glide, and it worked great after that. Both top drawers had felt in them, and one of the drawers I was able to remove the felt, but the other one, the drawer was impossible to get out. I created a template using some brown paper and then bought some poster board to fit very snugly into the drawer without any give. So then I got my drawer liner and applied that with the assistance of my daughter. I never can do these by myself. And it fit like a glove. And here they are. When I think about where I started and how frustrated I was with my $100 marketplace catastrophe, a busted back, a carpenter visit, and look at them now. I have about $280 invested between the purchase price, the repair, and supplies. I plan to list them for $400, which leaves me with a profit of around $120. Sometimes it's not always a huge margin, but that's the reality of furniture flipping, and I definitely learned a lesson on this one to fully inspect my furniture and ask if there's any damage prior to buying. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more. See you next time.